how do you answer questions that are asked to you at the airport by the port of arrival officer? And so, okay, so here you are, the plane has landed, and now you're entering the United States, and you're strolling your bag, and then you come to a long queue that says customs, or all non-US citizens or all foreign citizens go through here. So you go through the lines, you wait, and then you come to that place where it says stay behind the line, and then the officer calls you next, so you go in. So then they ask you, what is the purpose of your visit? And so at this point, you need to tell them what is the reason that you have, for which you have come to the United States. Now, it is extremely important here, and be very careful, because you will be detained and you will be shipped back on the next plane to your country unless you do the following. If your visa is what's called a non-immigrant intent visa, meaning that you came for a short period of time, then you will return, then you must be clear in articulating that intent. And you must be clear in stating that, listen, I'm here to travel for a couple of weeks and then I will return, or I'm here to stay 4 months looking at a couple of business deals and then I will return. I'm here to see my daughter who just gave birth and I will return. So all of these back and forth, you have to make sure that you really show that you are here to return. And sometimes they might even ask you, well, show us a ticket. And so sometimes they might even ask for a return ticket, although that's not necessarily typical. But you want to be careful not to say things like, I've come to the US for a better life, I'm here to work a little bit, anything that makes you waver in what you're saying, you want to be very careful about. Okay, we get literally probably 20 cases a week where people call because someone is detained. And then they're asking, well, what can we do? And at that point, it's really difficult because they're labeled an arriving alien and they're put on kind of an expedited processing. And so there's not a lot you can do in those cases. So the best remedy is prevention ahead of time. Okay, and that's the way to address various types of not, especially non-immigrant intent type visas. Whether it's a tourist visa or whether it's a visa that lets you stay a little longer. Just make sure it's a non-immigrant intent. Make sure you're here on business and you will return. You're here to finish whatever you got to finish and then you return. Okay. Now on the flip side, if you're on a green card or if you have some kind of permanent residence, then it's a different country. Then it's a different case. The questions they might ask you are things like, where did you travel, and what was your purpose, the purpose of your travel abroad, and how long did you stay in each country, and whatnot. And so, and here's how to think about it. The officer there, the CBP, the Customs and Border Patrol officer has two goals there. If you're a non-citizen with a short duration, with a temporary non-immigrant intent, they're trying to figure out, are you going to stay in the US? Are you here to stay? Or are you going to return? Are you going to articulate your intent to return? Okay, so that's their goal with respect to a non-immigrant. With respect to an immigrant, their goal is to make sure that the people they're letting in, they know where they've been, what they've done, in this day and age, in the age of terrorism and things like that. They want to make sure that they have a sense for where the immigrant has been, how long they've been out, have they overstayed the boundaries of their status, and or have they been to countries that are considered birthplaces of terrorism. And there's a slew of things that are going through their heads, but those are some typical considerations. Okay. Other questions that come up are things like, where are you staying? Again, if this is like tourist based, where are you staying? Where are you going to be going? It's good to have an address, typically, and make sure you're quite confident in what you're saying. There, you don't have to have an exact plan, a detailed plan of we will go 3 days here, and then on July 17th we will travel to California or whatever. But you do need to have a general sense of where you're going and what you're doing and how long you are staying. And when they ask you how long are you intending to stay, you really want to make sure you give them the maximum extent that you want to stay. Because if you start mentioning, well, I don't know, we might stay for this long or that long, they will give you, most likely they will give you either a regular 3-month stay or kind of the shortest stay that would suffice for you, because they don't want you to stay in longer than you absolutely have to. And those are some of the questions that come up during in the port of arrival when you're asked by Customs and Border Patrol agents. I will make another video about arriving aliens and people that get detained at the border, and issues that come up there, and what to do and how to address them. Thank you for watching.